Hi again, I'm working on the UN 2460 again. But tonight I took the recoil off, so I can do that. Excuse me, just a little tip. It's difficult for me to show you me doing the whole process, but I'll try and sort of give you a bit of an idea. Some recoils are quite easy and these ain't particularly difficult, but that goes on there before that bolt. I've already took that bolt out, and then that plate there, that little plate come off, and that spring there see, it sort of locates into there like so. So that fits on top. So there'll be a spring under there, the main recoil spring under this plastic bit. So just a tip, once you've got that off, you're going to be pulling the rope out to put your new bit in and everything, and then you've got to tie the knot, etc. So just get a washer just to cover over the, basically acting as that, a washer, and then put the bolt back in. Then you haven't got no risk of it coming off and then the spring coming out, risk of pinging in your eye or whatever, or injury. Just do that, then I can pull that. There's no way that can come out. Actually, I will quickly show you if I can undo it easy enough. Yeah, just bear with me a second. Well, I'm not pulling it or anything, it will be okay, but all I did was went in the drawer of washers and bolts and that, and see there, just make sure it covers over that plastic bit, which it does just, it's enough to stop that falling out. Then just re-tighten that in until you finish putting your new rope in. And when you put your new rope in, then just take them washers off and replace them with that. Then it'll be back together as normal. Also, another handy thing is to get some sort of a grip. Once I pull that out, it's difficult with one hand. My tripod's in it somewhere, but I don't quite know where. But this on this particular one, the rope was really short. I've clamped it now, but what I shall have to do, once I took the rope out, I will have to wind it in further because I want the pull longer, quite a bit longer. So I'll have to wind it in. But usually, if you're just replacing a frayed one, and they say for example, it's twice as long as that originally, you won't need to rewind it anymore, because as long as you don't let it spring back, it won't need to be rewound. You just hold it, tie the new one in, and then it will come back here, pull all the cord back in. But this one will have to be wound a few times so I can get that, so I can get a longer cord in it. So I hope you understand. Any questions, just ask in the comments. But that's just a little tip, because you do not want that spring coming out, because they can be got back in, but they're a pain, and you don't need to get yourself in that situation in the first place. So, but that bit has to come off to get to the knot. So I'm going to replace that now and get that done. But yeah, just a little tip for you. That's a lot of them you can get to the knot without having to take a plate or anything off, but it depends what it is. This happens to be a Honda one, so yeah, I've actually got to do one on that mower as well. It looks a little bit frayed to me, so I'll do the one on there. So I'll get them all done. That'll be a recoil. The recoil's all back together now. If I can actually hold it, struggling a bit. Hold it back and sort of show you. So that's nice and free. Now what I always do is just put the WD-40 just down there and tip it to the side so it gets in behind the plastic bit right into where the spring is, and then I'll give it a lubricate under there, and then just so it's all nice and free. I've got a lot longer cord on it now, that can be bolted back on, and then that side of the job's done on that one. I should do that one, like I said, tonight as well. It don't take long. I buy it in 100-metre rolls. I think it's about 15 quid or something delivered, something like that. This one I used the 4mm because it's slightly thicker. It doesn't. This was real overkill for it. It's a lot thicker. This is a sort of cord you'd have on the 13 horsepower engines, and this one's only a 6 horsepower, so you don't need it that thick. A 4mm will be fine. On them ones, sometimes I use even the 3.5mm, and that's fine as well. I've never had it break or anything, because sometimes if you put the thicker one in, you can't get enough in there because it's thicker, so into that bit there around the side. So anyway, I've sort of shown you a little bit there how to do it. It's pretty straightforward really. Just don't let that spring ping out, otherwise you could have an hour or so of trying to get that spring back in and aching hands after. So yep, I'll be along with some more update on this mower soon.